Hi everybody, welcome to episode number 20. That is where, drum roll, Kaidi. Episode 20 is not a small number, trust me. 20 is not a small number, and we are so excited that you join us for another great episode on the ZEdu Podcast. A quick announcement for those that would like to partner with us. If you'd like to advertise a school, an education program, please just contact the number on the screen and we'll be glad to save you and partner with you as we make strides on promoting everything education, innovation, and development. Today, I am joined by my own words, young, vibrant, and passionate educator, all-rounded educator, and you're going to find out. I'm joined by a lady who has so many questions. Before we started, she was asking me questions. And I wanted to say, give me a break. I need to focus on the podcast. Gift, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. We are welcome to the ZEdu Podcast.
Thank you so much.
You're a familiar face.
I know.
When I saw you, I was like, I know this person.
Yeah.
Especially with, I think the very first time I saw you, you were doing sign language.
Oh, yeah.
And so my heart skipped a bit because I was thinking, do you have somebody who can teach me how to communicate?
Yeah.
But it's so good to have you, and you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
I can see you're already browsing through the books here. You had a question for me. So before I open up my case of questions, you have one question to ask me. I'll be glad to answer it.
So I was asking, what's the name of your tuition center? It is very, very hard to pronounce. I don't want to do that attempt. Somebody's going to tell me, but Miss Mutali, you read a lot of words. I know, but this particular one,
Yeah.
I would like to hear from you.
Okay. It's not English per se. It's Latin.
Okay.
So it's carpe diem. Okay. So others will say carpe diem, but no, it's two words. It's carpe diem.
I see.
And in all, it comes from Latin. The phrase was coined by an army general who was commanding his officer to say, look, we should win the war during the day.
Okay.
So carpe diem simply means seize the day.
Wow.
And hence what you saw there.
Interesting.
Though I didn't want you to mention that no.
Okay, it's not your, I mean.
No. I'm part of the establishment that
Great.
I can confirm, and something that I'm very proud of.
Thank you.
Yes. So everybody, Gift is, I don't know what you are. You're a founder of an organization. You are a teacher. You're a teacher trainer. So just in a nutshell, who is Gift?
So in a nutshell, we're going to say, first of all, I would like you to know that I love to be called Mutali.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Not that I have an issue with the name Gift,
Okay.
but Mutali is like my brand name.
Okay,
so somebody
so-
can easily relate to a Mutali than a Gift.
So Mutali is like a
It's
brand
like
name.
a brand name.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So-
I take all the gifts back. Replace them with Mutali.
So Miss Mutali is an inclusive champion. I'm also an early years educator.
Okay.
And a humanitarian. So you're going to coin me in those three words: inclusive education champion, educator, and humanitarian.
Is that in the order of what you're passionate about?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because like the inclusive. Second time you went by the same order.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My math has Gift, but I'll say Mutali.
It's okay.
If we look at your background, you speak very fluent Bemba. So maybe could you give us a background? Where did you get educated? Which part of Zambia do you hail from? Let's start from there.
Okay, so you'll be so disappointed to know that I am Tonga.
Okay.
Ask me how much Tonga I know. I can
Less.
read, and it's
so
pretty
can I
less.
guess you grew up on the Copper Belt?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up in Lusaka.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up in Lusaka. Fun fact is, mostly home we used to speak Shona. I know. Yeah. So
Masera say.
yes, Masera say
yes.
Makadi.
Yeah.
Yes. And then well, my father is Tonga, but mostly we spoke Shona home.
Okay.
And then when we went out, it was hard to have a local language that would easily buy into.
Okay.
And Bemba just came out easily. So I did much of my my English and Bemba. Well, I can speak some Nyanja. I'm good at Nyanja too, but Bemba comes to me easily.
So, and Shona, so let's rank the languages that you speak. English, of course, is top.
Yes.
Which one is in terms of fluency?
So then we have Bemba.
Bemba.
Then we have Shona.
Shona.
Then we have Tonga.
Tonga.
Yes.
Okay. I have some Tonga friends. They'll say, "What's that girl that you brought to the podcast?" But it's one Zambia nation.
Yes.
I'm more interested with your journey as an educator. How did you become an educator? Was it by back in our day to become an educator? Maybe warife luka fidia, and then they tell you that I think teaching. You get it, eh?
Yes,
and most of people, and that is why we find educators who are not so proud about the profession. So, what's your story? When did this idea of you becoming an educator start?
Okay, so my idea of being an educator, well, growing up, I wanted to become an author and a journalist.
Okay.
And a lawyer. Like, that was like the top thing I want to advocate for children. But then it took a day when I had my daughter. I have a girl.
Okay. What's the name?
Esther.
Esther. Okay. Adasa.
Yes. So at 3 months, I would literally start to talk to her. Like, I wanted her to do a lot of things at 3 months. I talked to her. I would like her to react, show me if she's hearing what I'm getting. At 6 months, the baby, when the child is learning how to do their bubbles and what, she was actually singing. And so I was like, I love the idea that I can teach this girl. Can I then explore what it looks like to be in a classroom? Well, I hated preschool so much. I was like, because the myth behind preschool is, then you dance, and the whole day you'll be just seated in class and do those things. If I told they need to be changed diapers, then I'll do that. So I never liked that idea. Okay. But she became an inspiration because then I realized, okay, so there's this I can do. Out of teaching her, then I got another set of kids wanting to learn English because I loved to do a lot of English. Okay. Then I was now called as a trained teacher to go and teach at a private school. Then the feedback was good. Then I was like, well, the lawyer thing, can I go and try the education thing? When I went to do there was an option of primary education and preschool. And then I looked at my body size. It's small. I was like, I think preschool would be cool. So let me do.
Why not secondary?
You want to say that?
Why not secondary?
When was secondary school?
No. Why not secondary teacher?
Oh, wow. Just like look at my body. And at the time when I was
discriminating yourself.
Yes. Like I literally did that so that I can appreciate what I want to do.
Like, can I stop you in your tracks there? Mm-hmm. Why were you so cautious about your body size? Were you bullied in high school, or is it a societal thing that you felt I would work well in this area because of my size? So
I think being bullied in school was not there for me.
Okay.
But it was just like wanting to be. I never wanted to grow up. I don't want to grow old either. Okay. So I found out like being in preschool always keeps me happy, smiling, dancing. My body, without a choice, I'm exercising literally every day when I'm in that class. Okay. And that is what influenced my choice more. Okay. Yeah. Well, being in secondary was cool, but I thought I needed my impact more on the earlier side. Okay. Yeah. And you started your training? I started my training, yeah. You did your teaching practice. Mm-hmm. How was that for you? You don't want to believe that part. So this is me in my second year, and then I'm told to go and do my teaching practice. At the time, my diplomas were like 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Yes. And my second year, I was given to go and do my teaching practice at a government school. And there was more than 100 kids in a classroom. And there was a language barrier because I had to do Chinyanja. So there I am doing good morning, and the children are saying, oh my God. But what was cool around that space was the mvekelo, because I loved the sounding part. I was like, even if they give me these guys, but because there's a phonics component in here, the mvekelo part, I would do my best with the mvekelo. So okay. I did my most, and the kids were reading when the government, well, the standard officers came. They did my assessment. There was nowhere where I was found 40.
Okay.
And I was offered a slot to say, well, once she's done, can she come and get employed in government?
Oh, that's brilliant.
But the starting part, no, I never liked it. Do I want to go do the government?
So were you dreading showing up?
Sometimes I would. Like there was just too many kids. You know, like you have to mark all the books every day, and then you are a teacher in training, and the original owner of the class was not around the class at the time. She was on maternity leave, so it was very, very hard.
So you were thrown in the deep end.
Well, it worked well.
Okay, so you finish your teaching practice, you graduate, you have your diploma. Is the lawyer thing still there, or education after the teaching practice is all you can think about?
Now the lawyer thing is now there, because that was like, we are still going to do law, but now we need to understand what category in law do you want to specifically do.
Okay.
And so the teaching part was now like opening more doors, because I was not only teaching the learners, but I was also understanding their backgrounds. Where's this child coming from?
Okay.
Where they're not getting good grades? Stuff like abuse was observed during the session. Neglect was, I was seeing quite a lot of things, the policies and all those things. And I would think, how do I best make education better? Because we would literally have children with disabilities come to school maybe once a week. And now I'm wondering, how do I best get to help this child?
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of teaching, or was there any part of your teaching training that helped you as a parent in understanding your own child, and besides those that you are working with?
Yes. So I loved child psychology even more, because now it would be like I am tossing a kid's brain and it is responding and it's giving the best results. Not only did the children get the best, I also was getting the best, because I would literally take notes and think, where do I do better tomorrow? I think it is done the most for me.
It's done the most for you. How long have you been in active teaching?
10 years now. This should be my 11th year.
10 years. In the 10 years, have you ever felt like, okay, I think I have to leave this profession? Have you ever had that moment where you just felt, I think I need something better? Have you ever had a moment?
No.
You've never had that moment?
Unfortunately, I don't know why, but truth is, I don't feel like I am done with teaching. Every day I feel like, oh, there's this part I didn't do. I want to do it better tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes. So I feel like I needed enough time to do my teaching, except I'm also growing a little older.
Yeah.
Instead of influencing learners in classroom, hence the teacher training part now coming in.
Okay.
So that then I can extend the Mutali
in others who are joining the profession.
Yes.
Okay, so is that you indicating that you would like maybe to start lecturing at a certain point, or just you're teaching and still doing extension programs as a trainer?
So I would definitely love to start lecturing, because at some point, there are times I feel like my feet hurt, because I can't, I'm not that educator who will sit while the learner is writing. I want to see.
You're everywhere.
You're
bouncing ball.
How are you writing? Where's the challenge? Can I help here? So you find that from 6 to 15:30, I'm just standing.
Okay.
And when I sit, I'm maybe checking the book, but I love to mark my books while I'm up and checking while they're doing the work, so I don't have a lot of work overload.
So you are ECE teacher.
Yes.
For ECE, what's the most challenging part about being an ECE teacher?
So the most challenging part that actually even takes a lot of mental health for ECE teachers and reduces their self-esteem is, first of all, just the discrimination from you being an ECE teacher. There's this myth that ECE teachers, fikopo, that's why ba ile kudia. Kutukadori, because tabashu pabada vakadori. But then the vakadori needs to be taught language. They need to be taught fine motor skills. Just you being in that space can literally drain you the whole day if your mind is not focused. Because you'll be everywhere. Your emotions not regulated. You find, because there was just the presence of two kids can overwhelm you. This one wants to share the idea and all. Then a prominent challenge has been resources in our country. As educators, we do not have a lot of resources that an ECE teacher can easily work with.
Why is that the case?
So because unlike other countries, in inverted commas, there's a lot of effort government has put in, with due respect.
Yep.
But it was introduced very
recent,
even in government schools. In private schools, resources have to be sourced out of the country. So it meant that you'll have to write in the books the day, the date, the topic, the subtopic, and draw every day. On top of that, you need to do your lesson plans. And then because it is ECE, it has to be hands-on. You just talk and then it ends there. You need to make sure you have all the requirements around for you to do that. All that is constraining. And then you find that an educator just says, you know what, I can't do this. And that is a huge challenge.
So what would be your recommendation? Because we have people that are watching this podcast, policymakers, school heads and principals. So what would be your recommendation with regards to the much needed support for ECE teachers?
So the recommendation would be, let's try and reduce ECE teachers do the writing in their books. If there were a possibility, let the writing start in minimal books, not all the books. Maybe, let's say, from baby classes, middle classes, let them do printouts. It helps on the teachers' burnout, so they can concentrate more on the child, because we're looking at a competence-based curriculum. So it's the child practicing than the teacher dotting the whole time, the whole energy, the hands are tired to the dotting, because when they are tracing those to my dots, I'm a pen, get what I mean? But then if the teacher is given enough resource, they're printed out materials where we can do the card box, let other educators help in, because it is a lot of work for one ECE teacher to have 20 kids in class. It is overwhelming. Now imagine you have 78 and their books have to be marked. You have to be creative. You have to be all that. If resources or whoever views they needed to help the teachers, let's help them with the resources. While we can find them locally, even then, there is not enough training on how to use these local resources. So now an educator needed to be walked through. What other options can you look into in case you do not have these? I think it's high time we embrace the print.
Private schools handle ECE sections differently from the government.
Yes.
What is your thought on ECE teachers having assistants, teaching assistants?
It is a very huge support that they need. So I'll give you my example. So coming from an international school, we are 2 in a class, plus a nanny, and I only have 25 learners. And
that's a good class. I can know all their birthdays, all their names, all their father's number plates, because it's a good sample class. But now to a teacher like me who's in a government school, I have a rally of a class, I've got hundreds. Yes. So do you support the fact that they also, besides the resources, we can have you printed materials, but do you think teachers who are ECE teachers in government schools need?
It's actually a need.
Yeah.
If I thought there's anything, I would be kneeling down and begging the government to look into, make ECE teachers 2 in a classroom. Then we'll see our competence-based curriculum do its most. Yeah.
Are teaching assistants, are they supposed to be people who are teachers, or they are people who have interest, then you just give them basic skills, teaching assistants? So
teaching assistants should be trained. The cost of taking an assistant to school is something that we would all want to look into, right? It's going to be expensive, but they can also get prior training for like a year or so they understand, because you can't be an assistant, you don't know what your role really is. It's not just sitting in class and helping marking the books, because they also need to understand some teaching methodologies. They also need to understand the phonics part of it, child development, fine motor skills. They need to understand child protection and all those. So we cannot afford to just have anybody get into a class, because then we'll have a lot of issues coming out. A teacher should be observant of, okay, so this child has come to my class. Have they eaten? When they look like this, is this a sign of abuse? When the child is not playing, is this a sign of a disability? An assistant teacher should be in good position to understand. So like where I'm coming from, right? We don't actually have an assistant teacher. We are all professional teachers in a classroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you at the same level, or the other one knows that I can only go as far as this, but all the teaching and learning instruction is constructed by you, then they follow your plan? So how does that work?
We're at the same level.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter either one is higher, and because the objective is to make the child get the academics they need.
Okay.
So even when we are teaching, we rehearse a day before. Tomorrow we have this and this and this. What do you look for taking? Then they explain, I would like to take this. Okay. Or if they have a challenge in that, or I have a challenge, I'll express. I have a challenge in this subject. How do you think I should go about it? Then she explains. Even when it's time to teach, when I feel like I'm not understanding the concept, my colleague is going to observe while we have an assistant in the classroom and her also helping our learners with disabilities and also those with lower abilities. You'd find she'll tell you, I think Miss Mutali there, you are sloping. Can I come in? So it's going to be like we are teaching that collaboration of the competences. Learners are getting it firsthand from how we ourselves are working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much of your work revolves around establishing the foundation for numeracy and literacy, but I want to focus on the literacy.
Okay.
If we look at the history of the Zambian education, there's been great effort in making sure that our people have basic literacy skills. If we grew up in an era where there was R, A, E, O, U.
Yes.
And now you tell me that there's no U, it's R, A, U, O, A. Please highlight that for us. What's the difference? When did that come in? Does it mean that what led to that change?
So there actually was never a change.
Okay.
There was only a difference. English has around 178 sounds.
Okay.
But we focus like on 42 sounds. That is in English. I beg your pardon, if not 178, should be 175 sounds. On the alphabetical English alphabetical code, there's quite a number of them. So that is English. Then in our local language, so you and I can agree. Some words in Bemba don't have L and R. Tamwaba. So nifida msasangata, I'm saying my hair is looking pretty, or there's no hair in this room. You get what I mean?
Yes, my tribal cousins.
Now that is just a differentiation because that is our local language. So to our left, somebody like English in our local language, not in the English.
The R, A, E, O, U. The U was the
in our Zambian context.
Zambian language. Muchibemba. Okay.
But muchisungu kunenta kwa ba filia ya pa vowels.
Okay. But I think it was smart because we were blending. It's blended learning. The English in our own language.
Yes, but now
okay.
I would like to quickly bring your attention to a few things. Even then when we said we have English, we are not saying we get away of our Zambian language. All that I would better pick on Jolly Phonics, which is a reading program that most private schools use, most for reading. Like in 6 weeks' time, you have your child reading. In 5 weeks' time, depending on the approach that you've taken, if at all it is Jolly Phonics, you are guaranteed that in 6 weeks' time, your child can hit 52 words.
Okay.
Reading, not memorizing them.
Okay.
So our challenge had been, the observation had been, with our approach from the Zambian language point of view, teaching English, we were promoting more rote learning, SWAT, like the child only SWAT.
I call it swatology.
Swatology. Remember Jaditan Mulenga?
Yeah.
Yes. And then you understand that learners like me who were in group 5, I don't know if you were in group what in school?
No, group 1.
So me, I was in group 5.
Group 1.
And then dark red, red, and then dark red, and then I came back to orange, which was group 1. But at the time...
You had group 5?
I used to be a group 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't know. If you have group 1, group 2, now group 2.
So
Okay.
group 5 ni badiaba intense badiaba kweba tinomba bacha bale mieba fire pitabati ba pera ko badiaba group 4 ba ni badiaba ba stare medio ba mfwa ero ba kunganda nomba fa ba stare medio ba stare remedio
ashibuke.
Yeah, so then you find that a lot of children from our Zambian language English point of view, there was too much rote learning, which never helped most of the children read and hit the milestone wanted them to get to. Hence the introduction in the incorporation of Jolly Phonics even in the curriculum that then helps the children understand breaking sounds into words, not having a whole word recognition.
Okay. What should the child learn first? Sounds or letters?
Sounds. So I'm bringing to your attention the brain. has the left side, which stores sound, and has the right side, which stores whole word recognition and all. So this right side has limited memory, but this left side don't have limited. So when everything is given in sounds, a child can store a number of sounds. Then you introduce them to the concept of blending.
Okay.
But when you introduce them to a whole word, they'll just know the word over time. They are the same kids who they've read this book today very well. Tomorrow when you ask them, then they would have forgotten. But when they look at it and then they'll try and remember because it has been kept in this other side of the brain. So we advise to teach children sounds first. When they understand, if at all you're using the Jolly Phonics kind of way, you'll have to teach the first 4 groups. After the first 4 groups, that's when you introduce them to letter names.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's, when we're doing literacy, there's Jolly Phonics as Letterland. Are those different programs or they're one and the same thing?
They're different programs.
Okay, so which one is this one? And I hope you can match me to it. I'll try from my head.
Okay.
There's that thing, let's say Annie Apple says.
That is Letterland.
Bouncy Ben says.
That is Letterland.
Clever Cat says.
That is Letterland.
DP Duck says.
That is Letterland.
Eddie Elephant says.
A, that
Okay.
is Letterland.
Firefighter Fred says.
That is Letterland.
After F Nishani. G, eh?
Golden Girl.
Golden Girl says.
Says G. I don't know its action in Letterland, but that's Letterland.
Okay, then there's Impy Ink says.
Says E.
Then Jumping Jack or Jim says.
J.
Then after Jen Shan, next go.
Kicking King.
Kicking King, yes, says.
Says K.
After Ken Shan.
Lucy Lamplight.
Lucy Lamplight. No, I just tell me like I'm trying to, yes. Lucy
Yes.
Lamplight says. Munching Mike says. Oscar Orange says.
Oh,
Nicking.
Noisy Nick.
Noisy Nick, yes.
Says.
After N, Paris Shan. P, eh?
It's N-O.
N-O, I've said
Then
N-O.
yes. Now we're on P.
Noisy Nick, so on P.
Yes.
Peter Piper says, I'm just making
Says-
them up. Then
Quarrelsome Queen.
Quarrelsome Queen says.
Says
Then Robert.
Red Robert.
Yes, Red Robert says. After R is
Sammy Snake.
Sammy Snake.
Says
Tom Tom says.
talking teeth.
Oh yeah, talking teeth. Yes.
Says
Then after T.
umbrella.
Yes.
Says ah.
Everybody ooh apo.
Everybody ooh.
So it's
It is ah.
no, it's what's the chant?
It is umbrella.
Ampy umbrella.
Yes.
Then after you we have
Vicky Violet.
Vicky Violet. Okay, Vinicius Jr. says. I'm just thinking if I were to teach.
So when you go like that approach is very good.
Yeah.
When you go with that approach, the first thing that comes to the learner's mind is Annie. It's a whole word.
Yes.
It's a whole word. It's a whole word.
Okay.
And then I'm not saying it's a bad.
Yeah,
It's good. It works for others. But it's Annie Apple says ah. So you hear where the ah comes. It comes come on last.
I see.
Then we have
Bouncy Ben.
yes. Now I'm going to take you back to the Jolly Phonics. So Jolly Phonics looks like good morning conversation. The conversation is actually the story. So I'll give you an example. Telling a story, say sound s, because it's the first sound that starts. So it was on a sunny day. Sanka decides to take his dog Spot for.
So let's do this.
And then
Let's do this. How do you Can you practically teach us a sound using Jolly Phonics?
Okay.
Okay, we've run through the Letterland, but can you try and use Jolly Phonics in a practical sense?
Okay. So
yes.
let's get to a class. Starts with the sound revision. Now that this is a new class.
No. Start with, I want to hear your energy. For example, when you enter class, what are you like? Yes.
All right.
And the kids say,
Okay, so it's gonna go when I say hello somebody, and then they answer hello Miss Mutali, the magical educator. That's a chant for the class.
okay. Hello, Miss Mutali, the magical educator.
Yes. Hello class. Hello, Miss Mutali, the magical educator, is going to do that, yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Miss Mutali, the magical educator.
How do you feel today?
I feel good.
I feel jiggly.
Jiggly.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So today I would like us to learn something, but I'm going to ask you, how many of us have a dog at home? Do you have a dog?
Yes.
What's the name of your dog? Coco.
Yes.
Good. What do you like doing with your dog?
Rubbing her fur.
Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. I was going to tell you something. The same way you have a dog, there was a boy named Sanka who had his dog named Sports. He liked to take it every day for a walk. And what they used to play was catch. So I'm going to throw a bone and then you're going to pick. No, we're not going to do this here and now.
Yeah. No, we can do it. Okay.
So I throw a stick, a bone, then Spot goes to pick. So Sanka throws a stick, then Spot goes to pick. And then 3 times that happened. The 4th time she tries to throw a bone, Spot ran. And guess what happens? Yes! It is a
Snake
in the grass. And oh my God. Sanka was worried why Spot stopped, because Spot immediately started barking. Hoof, hoof. And now Sanka runs to check on the dog. And guess what he finds hissing? What was that?
A snake.
How was it hissing? Again? Good. So today we're going to learn sound.
You should see that his face is enjoying. you take him to class.
So here's my flashcard, except there's a frog.
Okay.
So this is a picture of a snake. Okay. Now keep in mind that we're learning sound S. I want to show you the action for sound S. Remember how the snake slithered away? Do you know what to slither is? A snake can't run, it can't walk, it slithered. So we are going to slither like a snake.
I've never used that word in my life.
So now it is a slither. So let's slither together.
Snake
Let's go.
slither.
Yes.
Not
And
yatabira ukunjoka.
let's say the sound. Let's say the sound together as you slither. So that is the action. Every time I do this, remember, I'm looking for Now, I'll teach you a song for this particular sound. The same way the snake was slithering, and we are going to say,
Teacher, did the snake bite the dog?
No, it only hissed and left. It slithered away.
Okay.
Yes. So I want you to remember the sound together with the action and the song. So we're just going to say the snake is in the grass. Where was the snake again?
The snake is in the grass.
The snake was just in the grass. And that's
Okay.
what we are just going to sing. So let's do that together with the action and the snake is in the grass. The snake is in the grass.
The snake is in the grass.
The
snake is in the grass.
Ends there for day 1.
Oh, okay. Brilliant. You should see him.
Then tomorrow we'll come
Okay.
back. If at all we have enough time, I'm going to show you how we make sound. I'm not going to say how we make letter.
So in this whole story, do you have like a screen that is showing a snake or just the sound? Is it more about the object or is it about the C sound?
Okay.
Like the S to bring out that sound? What are you using as you're teaching ed?
In that particular
yes,
lesson.
Yes.
I wish you said earlier I was going to bring you the whole thing so you could see. So teaching this particular sound has 8 steps.
Okay.
So you start with the sound revision, then you go to the story, then you go to the action, then you go to the song.
Yeah.
So the sound revision comes with flashcards. You need to
Okay.
have a flashcard for some children to remember. That's where you find, if at all you came across my Facebook videos, there's a part where if you hear your sound, come and dance.
Okay. Yeah.
So you distribute flashcards to the learners, and during that time, all of them are coming to dance.
Also, if I'm having sound. And if I
If
hear
you
my
hear
sounds,
sound, you need to come
I
there
come
and
and
you
I dance.
yes, and then-
That should be nice, Coco Parai. Imagine.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, yes. And then also if you don't want to do that, you can do like I do.
Okay.
Yes. And then what sound is this? And then the kids say, what sound is that?
Okay.
Yes, that is on sound revision.
Okay.
Then when I'm done with my story, I can bring in objects like a snake. I can bring objects like socks. Yes. Sometimes I can go outside with the learners where there's grass and then because
I think now I understand. So I do teacher training.
Okay.
Across Zambia. And I realized that when you're training secondary school educators and primary school educators, your trainings, where you have primary ECE teachers, those workshops are nice.
It just goes down.
It's fire. There's no down moment.
No.
Icebreakers. This one comes like they want to do like I do.
Yes, and then everybody, what sound is that? Like even in the Totally phonics trainings, educators, those that are shy, you just see them come out and have fun.
I think this year I'm going to train myself as an Ellie or Jolly Phonics trainer so that I can at least dance and okay, brilliant. So when we do Jolly Phonics, there's something that you mentioned that caught my attention, that you don't want kids to master words, but you want them to have the skill. I think the term is phonemic awareness.
Yes,
they're able to break down according to that.
Yes.
Do sight words promote rote learning? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. So quickly I come away from, so here's the cool part about phonics awareness. The child is going to do decoding, which is hearing sounds and blend them together for reading. And then they'll have encoding, which is hearing the sounds, separate them and write them, which promotes spelling, right? Now, tricky words like the word they or the word I, it's rote. Like the child has to just look, copy, say.
Yeah.
Yes. You can't blend. Well, for instance, they sound a, the context of how that word is it an English word even? Is it a Latin word? Because English is a bulky of
other languages built it.
So you find that tricky words, then we don't break them in sounds. We give it to the child as a whole for them to recognize it, to remember it as much as they can.
Okay.
That's why it promotes rote learning. And when we're doing Jolly Phonics, we only introduce tricky words to the learners faithfully and wholly when they are done with the 42 letter sounds, or when they're done with the first 4 groups, so that the child does not get confused between rote learning and also phonics awareness. Okay. Yeah.
Teacher Mutali, the magical educator. A parent is watching this and they're thinking, how can I help my daughter? Because she seems to be behind her age mates when it comes to reading.
Yes, yes.
How can I help my daughter improve in her reading? I am a parent. And I'm a single mom, or I'm a parent, but I have a busy life.
Yes.
How can I help my girl catch up with her classmates? What's your reply to such a parent?
So that goes 2 ways, or 3 ways anyway. You can either ask what the school reading program is. It is sad to say, or good to say, that at my workplace, I'm the reading and writing coordinator. So I design reading programs for the learners. I prescribe what level the child should be in. And so having a rehearsal with the teacher of that child is better, understanding what approach are they using. Because you'd find that the child knowing the alphabet does not guarantee
does not transfer to reading.
Reading, no, because when the child goes to reading, they will have to encounter the sounds. They will have to decode. And decoding looks like blending, sounding, letter formation. So handwriting plays a huge role also in how the child reads.
Okay.
Because they know how it is formed. When they know and they say it together, there's a way it sinks in the child's brain. So now the parent needs to understand what kind of reading program are they using. Is it one that promotes rote learning, or it is the one that promotes phonics awareness? And then away from that, then they can either come to you or me for the extra help that the child needs. But of course, we still have to go back to understanding where are the gaps. Is it in the phonics awareness, or is it in just the child? There are kids who are dyslexic.
Yeah.
Give them a concept, they'll delay. But I like the Jolly Phonics approach, not because I want to sell it out or something, but because I found it very helpful. There are learners, when you give them an action, then they can write for you a sound, even without you saying. You just give them actions, they give you a whole word, and you'll be like, oh, wow. And then you ask them to say the word, they definitely will tell you. So now the approach, the teaching approach for your reading also matters. You might come to Miss Mutali, and then you are expecting so much. Also expectations, disappoint us, because you feel like my child knows the vowels.
Yes.
My child knows the alphabet.
She can sing A, B, C, D.
Why can't she read? It is that phoneme awareness that the child doesn't have. And because rote learning works better, the Jedita Mlenga, the swatting way works better. Most teachers just use that to make you feel good. But when the child is in grade 4, 5, and they need to do the actual reading, it becomes very hard.
I'm telling you, most millennials who are watching here, I have a friend who told me that he seriously learned how to read in grade 8. You know where they give you a book to say, today you're reading, and you know that everyone is lying. That day you just miss the school and don't go there because you understand.
Yes, you just feel like
he was a victim. So when we look at reading, I'm going to give you a challenge. Right now, we are living in an era where now there's technology. There are iPads, there are phones. And attention span is reduced by far in this generation alpha or mega. Okay?
Yes.
Is the advent of technology affecting the motor skills of children with regards to reading?
So,
because you mentioned that they have to write. It's part of developing the reading skill. Is there a correlation? Is technology affecting our kids in that way?
So technology used wisely is for our benefit. Technology used carelessly, it affects our learners. What content are you giving your child on that iPad? There's provision on the screen that the child can actually use the finger to write something there. But what we just know on the iPad, you and I can agree, it is dun 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 dun, Cocomelon.
Exactly.
And even a 2-year-old is like, yes, it's time to get to school. Da, 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 da. The whole time. There's apps like Jolly Phonics is also in an app. When you open that app, there's a provision of sound. The child will practice the sound. There's a provision of crossing out on the phone. There's a provision of using the finger. But now the question is, as a parent, are you present to guide the child to get to that part? Even just on your Google, there's lab, like it's called what? Chrome Lab.
Yes, Chrome Lab.
Yes. There, down there, there's a provision where you can actually give a child to write letters on your gadget. But the thing is, we just want what is easy, what works for us, as long as the child is not making noise, and then it's okay, and then we focus on our things. But now, fine motor skills are a most essential part of the child's brain development because it helps in with their coordination, their muscular development, their concentration span. Actually, just that simple 3-point grip helps even in how, because handwriting determines how, I don't know if it's true or lie, but in most cases, I believe it is true. It determines the intelligence of an individual. How they write expresses their persona also. And now you realize that you might have a very poor handwriting and a very good spoken word. There's a gap in there. So not because you can't, but because there was not much effort given. And then these are learners you find that they are not mostly interested, but give them stuff for like, if you're coding shan, they are so good at it. But at an earlier age, it is important. Even the Western part of the most developed countries, they are not going back to the system of writing in books because they've seen how far technology can actually redundant children when we wholly depend on doing such things.
Okay. Kids can read. Every private school, you and I in the private space. So every private school would want to show its superiority and its competence by saying we've got a strong reading program, and if we give kids can read books. Now, reading is one thing. And I read a book by someone who was saying that the biggest lie is that let's get our kids to read. He says there's a fine difference between the ability to identify words and simply say, for example, I'm looking at this and I'm reading, Zambia's literacy rate faces a significant rural-urban divide, with recent data, 2022 census, indicating a national adult literacy rate approximately 62.6 to over 80%, depending on the metric, showing a decline. So what I'm doing is, it's like I have this ability to identify words I can read.
Yes.
But what this person was saying is that, look, the lie is that people can read and we have that they can read. The question is, can they comprehend what they are reading?
Yes.
And you find that we have a whole army or a nation of people that can have basic reading skills.
Yes.
But the comprehension is not there. So how should we make the reading programs in our schools very effective such that kids can read the words, but they can understand the text that they've read?
So I'll, for instance, pick you this very book, right? So because we understand reading is the process of decoding letter sounds together than rote learning, right? So, and also explaining what is happening here. A child explaining what is happening here, their reading has already started. So it starts from this book. What can you see here? So reading should come with critical thinking, should come with analysis, and it is also supposed to come with assumption. What does the child assume is inside this book before we open the pictures, before we look at the words? Can the child look at the colors that are here, explain what color that is? Can they explain the character? How is the frog looking at? Is it smiling? What do you assume is happening here? Because there are children who, when they look at this, because there is a frog here, the title of this book, it will be A Frog and a Bag and a Guitar. That will be the title of it.
Boyas, of course.
But then, when we want them to comprehend, we start by introducing them to the cover page. They see this. And then when they enter into now the whole book, they'll have to understand the meanings of the words. Their children or learners would say they read a word, they don't even understand what that word is. Now, we mostly skip the phonemic awareness and rush to hear. So because the child has broadly mastered all this, they can read for you, but they cannot explain what this is to you. So hence we go back to the basics. Now, that is day 2 of the Jolly Phonics lesson. I am back with that lesson. So today we do letter formation. Say letter A. It is a round, up, down, and a flick, right? And then the learners form it using air, using the what. Now, I want them to blend. So I'll pick assorted sounds together. Yes, like s-at. Then make the word sat, right?
Sat.
Then my exercise is going to ask them, can you hear the sound of the day? Can you hear s in the word mat? Then it's thumbs down. Can you hear s in the word sit? Then it's a thumbs up, right? Then my homework for that particular day, beginners to the can you go and find the meaning of the following words? Sat, sit, maybe whatever words that I want, maybe 3 or 4. They go home to find the meaning. Tomorrow when they come, they will understand that sat is the past tense of sit. Then the time they are coming to read the story here, on my Friday for dictation, I give them to dictate or they do phrases. Because the end result of dictation is for them to do phrases. In a period of like 5 weeks to 6 weeks, the child will be able to do that process. Then they will understand. He sat. Actually, she sat. She was sitting the other day. You get what I mean? But when we skip the procedure of how reading should be done, then we have a lot of children who read, but they can't understand. They can't comprehend the context. They can't understand the tone. Even there are those kids who don't even punctuate. Yes, but that is supposed to be done in the whole process. There are even
some leaders who can be reading a speech, and they don't know what he's talking about.
And then they
can just read. And for me, I'm able to see the consequences of maybe yesterday's reading programs. The insufficiencies are there. that if we are going to raise a very, we talk about critical thinking.
Yes.
You can't be critical if you can't really understand
What is inside?
Yes, what is inside. Yeah. Because it's for you to read and understand, extrapolate some data from there and be able to apply. I like that. I brought this book specifically for you.
Okay.
So I once attended a reading class, like how to read to children. Mm-hmm. Okay, you make them sit. So I was a child. I sat, and there was a way that reading is supposed to be done when you're reading to children.
Children, yes.
So I want you to demonstrate fish. This book is Fish Don't Need Snorkel. What word is this? I don't know how to pronounce it. Wamukoka. Iwe ati? Snorkels. Oh, my, the distinction. Okay. So what I want is for you to do a demonstration. I read this book to my daughter. She's 4 months old.
Okay.
And she loves it. Mm-hmm. She loves it. So I brought it just for the sake of, let me tell you. I just want to get the right pronunciation for this word. At Machanda, what word is this? Okay. So I want you to show us how even a parent who's here should approach reading to their child so that the child can have that interaction with their parents.
Okay.
According to it. Because I know there's a way you flip, you people, or you can pick the other one. It's up to you. But that's why I brought this book.
Okay, so an important thing to note is when you're going to do a kid's story, you need to relax. So you don't go with a lot of things to distract the child from paying attention. Okay. So I take off my watch.
Okay.
You can have your earrings, but not dangling because also these.
Okay, we'll be distraction. Really? Yes. What about the glasses?
So because they are for my sight, obviously.
So we'll give them a pass.
Dad is not at the office. Miss Mutali is not at the office either. So
the tie has to be.
To loosen up a bit.
Okay. Now remember the rules of what we said. You're not supposed to insult on the podcast. Don't undress, please.
Don't undress. No, I'm not undressing. Okay. I'm just being in a relaxed space. Because when I do my stories, obviously I'll be in my tees, but my shirt will not have a necktie.
Okay.
So that my learners cannot feel like this is.
So now this is your child. You're home, so you could be in your pajamas and yes.
Yes, so we are cozy. So I'm gonna read your story. Where's the child here? Or you?
There is a child. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a child. Yeah.
So I'm going to read your story, and the title is Fish Don't Wait. Okay, fish don't need snorkels. What can you see on this picture? Huh? Yes, I can see bubbles. What else? Yes, I can see a fish. What is it showing on the face? Surprised. Yes, I can also see a seashell down here. I can also see the big fish. I don't know what it's doing, but the eyes are like anxious. It looks a bit worried. What do you think? I think so too, but maybe if we went inside this book, we would know what is going on. But do you know what this whole thing is all about? I think this fish is grasping for air. I don't know if it wants water or if it wants air. So let's check inside the book. But you're going to borrow me your listening ears and your beautiful looking eyes. And I love your answers too. Now we open. There's nothing here. There is a lot of things here, but this book was written by Karen. So you know. Now let's get to the story. Do you see what is here? I am seeing things, but I want you to tell me what you are seeing too. Yes, there's a chest. I think this is a chest of treasure. Of course, that surprised fish is here too. But this one looks like it's worried or sad. And this one is amazed. I'm not so sure, but let's read together. Does a fish need a snorkel to breathe underwater? This is a question. What do you think? Let's think together. God gave the fish gills to breathe underwater. So does the fish need snorkels? The answer is no. No way. Okay, let's go ahead and hear some more. I am still thinking why it is wearing there. Does a giraffe need a ladder to reach the top of the tree? Look at the trees. Where are the trees? Look at the elephant. Do you think the giraffe would need a... Even the giraffe is so surprised. It's like, oh. All right. Now, I wish I could tell you more.
Okay. People should pay for this class. Yeah.
I wish I could tell you more, but I want you to think the way the giraffe is thinking about what you should do next.
Yeah. Brilliant. What are the... Because, I understand some of the things you're doing. Your voice inflection is moving. You're animating it. What are the maybe 3 important things that a parent who's reading to the child should pay attention to? Because I know most parents who are not teachers like you and I struggle
Can you
with
read
their own children.
Yeah.
I'm reading, you're not paying attention.
Can you read it?
Exactly. You get it, huh?
Yes.
So plus they've had pressure control. So what are the 3 things that you can point out? Say, mommy, daddy, look out for these things, and your kids will pay attention.
Yeah. So the first thing to look at is the environment. And environment plays a huge role when you're reading with the child. Is it cozy? Is it comfortable? And then the tone that you're putting into. And then you can't always be animated, because that is for most of us who just want to do the animation part of it. But you can also ask the child to act out certain parts you feel like they can take part.
Bring it closer, yeah.
Okay. So you can always ask the child to animate the parts you feel like they should animate. But also dialogue with the child in the reading. Ask probing questions.
Not the way they just listen.
No. Ask questions. Ask them to assume what you think is happening next. Yes. And then don't just make it casual. Always let it have some surprises to it. And also a provoking thought. A child should think while you're reading. They should think, they should plan. They should even have another part of the story on their own. Yes. And then now we understand point under each word when you're reading with the child, so they know that this is the word fish, that is the word don't. Because sometimes we point on top, but it is important to point under each word when they read.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. You have a question? Okay, sir. Is there a microphone there? No. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
What is the recommended age to start reading
for children? So what is the reading to them, or for them learning how to read?
Which one?
Okay. What is the recommended age for you to read to children? That's one. The other part of the question is for them to start learning reading. Yes.
So the recommended age to start reading for the child is actually when they're in the tummy. Haven't you noticed, like when the mother has a baby hump and the dad is reading the story, they hear. I know it's an anomaly, but you can start reading for your child while they're yet to be on the earth. They will hear your stories and they'll react to those stories. And then at what point does a child start reading? Depending on, there's nothing like a specific recommended age. As long as the child has started talking, you can start teaching them how to read.
Because language is forming.
Yes. So teaching the letter sounds. Like my girl started reading at 2 years. Phrases and ants, they can read at 2 years, depending on the approach that you use. So as long as the child has started talking, you can teach them how to read.
Yeah. So read to that baby. He just had a baby girl.
Read to her. Ask her questions, even if they don't.
Not just shh.
And now there's also this part that parents who have children with disabilities ask me.
And I was just about to come to that, because you deal with kids who are under the spectrum. So can you speak to the parents? Then I will throw in my question.
So depending on what spectrum the child is, there are children on the spectrum that would literally read novels. I had an experience of the boy who used to read 5 books a day. Like he's reading, everything is correct. Ask him the sounds, he literally would tell you. Others are inclined to just words, so they can literally do magic. But for a child, who is deaf. You want to take a cool pace because generally we use common sense signs, right?
Okay.
Yes, like hi, food. You know what I mean? But there's also a vocabulary, the sorry, the please, you know what I mean? But now they also have an alphabet. So you want to be patient today. So you do, especially when we're doing finger spelling. So this is an A.
Which was an A?
A, this one.
This is an A.
Yes, A.
Okay.
Yes, and this is a B.
This is a B?
Yes. Like the
So my
fingers
name is
together.
Andrew Banda.
Andrew. So when you're signing it, it's
So
gonna
B?
be, it's gonna be A.
No, Banda. Banda.
So Banda is B.
B.
A. Then N, 2. N.
2. That's N.
N, yes.
Then what's a D?
Then D. D.
D.
Yes. And
Okay.
then A.
So Andrew R.
So it's gonna be A.
Uh-huh.
N.
N. Yes.
Then D.
D2. Like
D.
yeah.
D like
D. Yes.
Yes. And then R.
Then R.
Yes. And then E.
E.
E. Yes. E.
And a W.
Then W.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then when you're going to teach the child using either a Zambian Sign Language or American Sign Language, the same reading, because their reading is different from our reading. However, because there's inclusive education, right?
Yeah.
So the teacher should be aware of the basics of sign language, of the basics of Braille. So you're going to do with them an A, like an A, and then in the word and like that.
Okay.
A day at a time. So you're not going to expect them to rashly get into signing because all these have got the compound signage that they should all have.
Okay. Zambia has made many strides in the phrase now is inclusive learning.
Yeah.
I would want to pick it from this angle. What things do we do that are not inclusive and we think we are doing inclusive education?
Number one, it's just the methodologies themselves, the teaching methodologies themselves. On an average day, go and work in any class. You see if at all there's differentiated learning happening in a class. Sometimes it is 1 out of 10. It is never 5 out of 10. So differentiation in the teaching methodologies looks like, so I understand Luca is very slow when it comes to understanding this concept. Can I give Luca a coloring sheet? I give Mary a tracing sheet. Then I give Musonda a writing pad or a writing book. That is differentiation.
Okay.
Yes. But in an average classroom, you would not find that happening.
Everyone's given the same
Same tool, the same time, the same approach. In a class where you have a child on the spectrum, they would want to go and feel your do we have any object that we have put across that the child can feel how it is made when they are overwhelmed? Can we walk outside to try and calm them down because they have a sensory overload? That is maybe 3 out of 1 out of 10. Then comes the accessibility of the classroom. Some classrooms have got where the child sits. It is far from the board. A child with albinism is seated at the furthest end in the classroom. And now the child can't copy well. There are other learners with or without disabilities. They just cannot clearly see. And now as an educator, you're like, that
was me. My eyesight was poor,
Yeah.
Until I figured it quick like a pantange. Yeah.
So while there is a term, inclusive education, in the policies, the implementation
is where we
begs to be answered, saying, can we be more deliberate? Can we use even those bean seeds to teach a child a Braille alphabet? Dot 1 is A. On an average day, are you sure you're going to find that in a classroom? Nope. So now that is our huge challenge. We are far from being too practical. And also, inclusive education demands that we do not institutionalize.
My boss says we are practically impractical. Yeah.
Yeah, because I lost my thought. I was going to say, because we call ourselves inclusive in our doings, right? There is a charge that was given that we don't institutionalize disability. So the issue of special schools in school should slowly come to an end. But the question is, even our learners, are they aware on how to talk to their friend. Because they will use the same term. Ni dangwala ezauja.
Yeah.
They use the same term. Ni mpofu. They use the same term. Ni chibulu. Have we taught our learners the appropriate language to use when encountering a person with a disability? Even in our local language, umuntu ukweto bulema. Not each them. You get the differentiation, right? Umuntu ukweto bupofu. Not impofu.
But for generations, it's like that is the accepted term of saying iriani impofu. We've written songs you understand that?
Yes.
So it's in our literature, even in our minds.
It is just tuned, like it comes naturally. Even me, it took some time because now I would differently abled, uniquely abled, special. No, it is persons with disabilities. PWDs.
Yes.
Persons with disabilities. PWDs. Now, are the teachers aware on how to handle such? In a classroom when they are overwhelmed, do they know? Because it gets overwhelming. Sometimes when you're working with a kid on a spectrum, the reason why we advise as early as educators to be wearing pants, because I sang and now you're wondering how to figure it out. Sometimes
that's why people are always in some slacks.
Some scrubs and all. Sometimes they drag your skirt together with the zip. Now you're wondering
and once they hold, they've got grip.
So number.
Yes.
Then you're thinking, how will I get through to this child? Now, you get what I mean? So, while we look like we are not serious with our work, but there are those precautions put across how you dress. Now, part of it. That's why I spectrum. Because how will you run? Because there are kids who can run. You can literally spend the whole day just chasing that same kid.
And they're not tired.
And they are not tired. No, you don't expect a child to sleep at the time that you want. Now, what I'm trying to say is being more inclusive is nothing like just putting it in policies. We needed more teacher training and awareness around it in those classes.
I like the point that you brought to say the policies are there, but more we fell on the implementation. In these schools, you find that there are no tools that will cater for the differently abled. There's a child that I worked...
Did you say differently abled?
You see? Okay. Persons with...
disabilities.
So this child was Carpe Diem. So we do homeschooling. So we're doing homeschooling for this child. This child was rejected by a school because they're under the spectrum. And for them, they had some trauma plus their condition. And this school simply said, after the child attempted an exam, failed grade 9, they said, you're just wasting your mind. This child is untrainable. Like, just stop. And for me, that was an indication that the school did not have the inclusivity to cater for that child. We picked that child and homeschooled him. And he wrote his grade 9 and he passed.
I know, right?
You understand?
Yes.
So I think they should be, policies are there, but the implementation, even monitors.
Yes. I
think these standards officers, when they come, the tools that they use, I may not be privy to them, but I think there should be more to say how inclusive is
this class.
How many kids in your class do you have a dyslexia? Because in Zambia, we don't think that thing exists, but it does. A lot of people are dyslexic, but they don't even know. So I love the fact that you brought out that the policies are there, but it's in the implementation that you should be. Among the different persons with disabilities, which condition do you think we haven't paid attention to in our education?
I was gonna say soft disabilities.
Okay.
All of us are able to see that guy has visual impairment, he's blind. That girl has hearing impairment, she's deaf. That one has cerebral palsy. Yes. Then we also, that one has Down syndrome. It is obvious. But a child with autism, a child with Asperger, a child with ADHD, a child that is dyslexic, we don't actually know that this child is on the spectrum, and that
child is not. Those are our phrases.
Yeah, where especially when you are exposed to a child with ADHD, they are hyper. They can literally say anything, do anything, what. And then the child that is on the spectrum, depending, because the spectrum, either it is on the milder side or on the cooler side, they have the repeated, maybe they're flicking the pencil the whole time, or maybe they like a certain kind of food
Or color.
or a certain color,
Yeah.
and you find the child puts things in a certain, even OCD is hard to, you find this child in class when they arrive, a 5-year-old even, has books put a certain way, pencil put a certain way, a cap put a certain way, and the chair every day, same routine. And they have the way they write their C, and they have the way they actually greet you, and there's the way they like you when you wear certain colors. And us as educators, Mungu dufie budia. Kumia baba kidini sana babu saka. No, we needed to come to a place where we'd ask, can you give me the history of this child? Because those ones, because in Zambia also, I love my country, but these tests are not thoroughly done. For lack of a better term, would say they are actually not mostly available. Even autism, they'll tell you, we'll come back to you, and it will stretch for some time because autism will present itself in different spectrum. Others in blue, others in yellow, others in purple. It's mild, it's low. You just find the child doesn't just eat chicken. Sometimes a child repeats, can't maintain eye contact. And you as a teacher, you will not say that's a disability. You just say, I mean, solo you. Tate mwa chongo. Find the child is just holding the ears the whole time. Tate mwa fie chongo you.
So now, for me who was an educator at secondary school, and this is where you people who are specialized, I think you need to bridge a gap between your world and our world. Because you teach this child, and they leave. You don't track them and where they're going. And they're in a secondary school. And like you're saying, to say, come in Solafie. When he or she is under the spectrum. So to me, who's a teacher of science and mathematics, I'll simply say, Takwata Muchinshu, I mean Sola, and you find that I will just, as we just punish. You punish your adults. So do you think, I won't even put it as a question, I feel you should try and also do certain trainings that are tailored to people that are handling these kids in senior sections, especially with the soft disabilities, because we won't see them.
No, you're right.
And you find that many schools will simply say, when we're doing exam entries, gladly ECZ at least has that option. Say, do you have a SEN?
Yes.
And you select. But if you ask me, I think there are many who are under that.
Yes.
And I know that for exam standards, they're given a little bit more time.
Yes.
But few are accounted for by the schools to really identify this one as that condition, and we should give them more time.
Yes.
Could it be because maybe it's of discrimination in our societies?
I'm going to say a big no.
Okay.
Yes, because look, what you don't understand, you will not pay attention to. So the awareness around disability is maybe, let's say 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because yes, twadishiba, kwa baba nensu, baba kwa tobulema, and then what? Even not just school, right? Hospitals. Take, for instance, a deaf person has gone and they have a stomach pain and they have a headache, but they are trying to say that their throat has been hurting and they have a heartburn. How can they explain that to a mere nurse to understand? You get, right? It's not like the nurse is discriminatory. She just doesn't understand. Doesn't know. Like, okay, so nin shivati weta umfwa. Ulembe lama saini, but no by next station. So even just me doing like this for a person who has a hearing impairment is rude, because to them, it's an expression of what's going on here. But me, I'm just trying to say, I don't know what to do. You get what I mean? So now, an awareness is what is like, we lack awareness. We needed to just go back to the drawing board. Can we be deliberate even in our TV delivery? Can we be deliberate in the information we give? Can it be more inclusive? Can we just raise awareness around disability inclusion? I'm happy Kwame Nkrumah has now is doing inclusive. It's compulsory for every teacher training, but just started a few years, if not a year ago.
And we're in what, 64 years of it?
You get what I mean?
How many are we? But yeah. But it's good that strides are being made, and we hope that all colleges, universities could have this. You won an award. Was it under Age of Flyer?
Yes.
Just this Sunday.
Okay,
please tell us about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an award winner here on the podcast. Yeah.
You have an award-winning Machiko educator.
Yeah.
So that award was for education and mentorship.
Okay.
So I do sessions like Teaching Tuesday. I am more on disability inclusion and reading. So The one who actually nominated for me was a community of PWDs. They were like,
Oh, okay.
Miss Mutali, you not only talk about inclusive education, but we've caught you cheating in your classes and you're like doing this part. And I also remembered my school director. A big shout out to Mrs. Losongo Siame.
Yes, Madam Losongo, a big shout out to Totally Kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
For giving me a platform and the belief in me that I can literally deliver. And that today.
Oh, she believed in you.
She believed in me. Day one, she was just like, there's something about you, Mutali.
One thing I'll tell you is you have a great boss. And which episode? Totally Kids sponsored an episode of the ZEdu Podcast. And we're grateful. We're waiting for more sponsorship. Yeah, one of the best schools, by the way.
Yeah.
When we hosted K Plus here, he did mention that he moved his kids from Rhodes Park and to Totally Kids for the simple reason that it's progressive. The kids are doing coding and all that. I think I've advertised for the school. And
Yes.
so, Lusungu, shout out. I respect her,
Yes.
and you have a great boss.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. She told me something at the start of the year. You're going to be focused and you not pay attention to anybody's ear. Because when you came here, we agreed that you grow. And your growth looks like focus and continue in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I started my year with a number of Jolly Phonics training. All my friends were, and then she told me, actually, you know what? You are the reading and writing coordinator for the school. So if you come at my school, you find the kids are doing the most in the read.
I will come. Definitely, I will
sure.
come. Because I owe your boss a visit.
So then the community was like, we've nominated for you. It took some time. That was like last year. I even forgot about it. I'm like, award or not. I mean, what is that? I'm pretty occupied with these other things. Then there was time for voting came. My director was the first one to actually vote for me.
Okay.
Yes. Then the voting.
I also voted for you, you know?
Yes, you did. Thanks so much for the vote. So the voting came with a lot of course, I'm not so good at these things of social media now announcing that there's this. I was just like, it's one of those things. But then they came to my story and they checked in and told me, we like your story. What's your drive behind persons with disabilities? I'm like, accessible education. I love that every educator out there learns even a tip a week, like what is the difference between Down syndrome and cerebral palsy?
Yeah.
What tools can you have in your class that can help you understand that child? And I'm deliberate every month as a specific disability I'm focusing and looking into. So best of that is where the jury, because my nomination, my award was based on the jury's judgment and the votes.
Okay.
So the jury was like, they were happy about it. And then when the votes came in, it was just like, now you go and get your award. So that is how I got my education and mentorship award.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's brilliant. We're going to be wrapping up.
Yeah.
If the magical educator was made to be the minister of education and was given a mandate to change certain things about our education system, what would you change?
Immediately, I would go and first understand how far we've come before I rushed to changing. Check what is there.
Yeah.
After I check what is there, I would like to know the concentration on inclusive education, its implementation, and channel funds to inclusive education.
Okay.
Because we have a huge percentage of children away from Lusaka. If Lusaka is struggling, how about Mongo? How about Kasempa in the education space? And empower even the old-time early years educators. I would be deliberate about giving trainings for the pre- and primary school teachers, the inclusive education practices, so that they are not surprised, they understand the channel, because there's a huge gap between ECE and primary, then primary and secondary. And then we want to see these competent-based students. I would like to see how inclusive education would look like. Are the classes accessible? Do they have ramps for a child with a wheelchair? Is the room good enough for a child with visual impairment? What is the seating arrangement? What are the numbers like? Having more teacher training, I think, is a cry. Well, would say government has been recruiting, but there is even actually a more need of having more educators who who are deliberate and inclusive in each class, and I would like to see that happen. And then get our stakeholders on board.
Yeah.
Let them now we have this map. We want to see this inclusive education. What are you willing to help us with? How much more natural resources can we use to just make this inclusive education work away from the policies now? Yeah.
What has been the most threatening experience you've ever had, maybe working with kids or persons with disabilities?
The most threatening is when they are suicidal. And when the parent is also stuck. It is literally like, when somebody is suicidal, it's the same, they are dead already. Or if a parent doesn't know how to go about it, it also means there's no life there. That has been my greatest fear, the most threatening, when a parent cannot see a child beyond that space, or when a person with a disability cannot see themselves ahead of that day. It drains me. I feel, didn't I do better? And now back to that lawyer person you are looking for. Now it makes that lawyer think, I will waste my time going to do that law because I'll just advocate in court.
And I won't be having direct impact here.
And then what? So I might do my law when I'm 65 to just help educators understand. But in the meantime, that parent, that teacher, and that child that I call my village needs me in that moment.
Brilliant. Do you have a question? Yeah, because he was looking like he wants to have a question. Yes, go ahead.
I'm not sure how true these facts are. We are all autistic by nature, isn't it? That's the thing in the autism in us. So do you think it would be a great idea to assume at first instance, because they get you into that's your baby class, you've started that's grade 1, assume everybody's autistic. Then we have, let's say probably, I don't know how long it takes to identify, a month or 2 for the first idea to see the levels of autism in our learners. Then that would give us the head start to say, okay, so these guys at this level, these guys at this level, then we'll be able to make at least policies and see how best we could handle the children. What do you think?
So my thought would be, what we call that line of statement you put is a bias, and it's unconscious. So we are not encouraged to have unconscious biases. We are encouraged to observe. Don't make an assumption. Just have your observation checklist.
Yeah.
Trends, what a child on the spectrum looks like, and then communicate to the parent, I have observed this. What is your history? Then they communicate. Make a proposal. I suggested you check the child with Pendleton Hospital for the children. Then they go and then they'll be told, so that at the same time, you are not quoted as an implicator and you're also labeling children. Because immediately you have a bias, then you start treating a child a certain way, and then you deprive them from the privilege of just being themselves in your space. Yeah. So a lot of teachers have actually been the reason why most children have not thrived, because I have said, you are Dao.
We tag.
Yeah. And so whatever word you just tell a child in year 1 goes a long way. Hence, it's encouraged to even give a child a positive criticism. I love how you write, but I was wondering if we could write at a slower pace, and then it will reduce rubbing. You are smart. You can do this. Even when the child says, I can't, just tell them, you can do this. If you're tired for now, take a break. We'll come and do this later. When you deprive them from a privilege, you also give them the reason as to why you've deprived them, and also when you will return the privilege to them. Some kids are just confused that when you tell them, you're not going to be my friend, now they'll be thinking, if I write, but I'll be your friend. Yes. So you like me. Yes, I like you. And you come in my dreams. Yes, I'll come in your dreams and we'll have a lot of game. But just write. And they're right. And like, so yeah, I think so. Actually, I know so.
Yeah. That I won't even add on to it because I was almost talking to it, but that's brilliant. If you're an educator and you observe certain things in a child, you are not the one. as educators, we are not trained to do specific assessment and say this child now has got this level of autism. No. Ours, when we observe, we engage the parents. After the parents are told, we get a history.
Yes.
Then should other partners, psychologists, do an assessment, and they tell us now the extent to which that condition is. It informs us of what interventions
Yes.
or whatever learning plan we can now create. It informs our teaching and learning experience as we plan it. So that's a brilliant answer. We are wrapping up. Is there anything that you would like to tell your nation? I know you have a nation. What do you call it? My tribe? Is it my tribe?
My village.
Your village. Yes, you have a village. She has a village.
I have a village.
I just don't know the name of the village. I don't know if it's Mutali village, Kwa Mutali village. What do you have to say to your village?
So my
and
village,
all the education podcast viewers, yes.
So my village has you, by the way.
Yes.
It has the educators, it has the parents, it has the students in there, and all the key stakeholders in all the 7 pillars of influence. What I have to say to every person in our village is every person has an ability, and we create the opportunity for every possibility. And education is not just books. It's not just pens. The same as reading. We have sign language. Where are you going to put it in there? We have Braille. If at all education is just books. We have Braille. Where are you going to put it in there? We have outdoor activities. Where are you going to put it in there? So, because education is an exchange and the growth of information, I believe, for bettering our communities. We can be deliberate about having inclusive education, even for the older women, for the older men, and for somebody aspiring to be in the education space. It is good to be an educator, but it is better to be a specific educator in your space. I'm a magical educator because I love disability inclusion, and others are good in sport. So be in your passion. I feel we are going to have a better village than ever. So my village will always say, stay who you are, be true to your cause, but leave no one behind.
And those are the words from the chieftainess of the Mutali village. And so, thank you.
Thank you.
Teacher.
Miss Mutali.
Miss Mutali, the magical educator. I almost said gift. Today's episode, as you are speaking, reminds us of how everyone is entitled to accessing education regardless of whatever state they're in. And I love that you are promoting inclusive education. Wishing you the very best on this journey.
Thank you.
And one thing I know is this is not the last time I'm going to be. I think one day you'll be a co-host here. I like your mind. Thank you very much for making this possible. To our listeners, remember every child deserves to have access to good quality education. Every child can learn regardless of their different learning abilities. And that's what we all are about. Signing out from the ZEdu Podcast is your international teacher, the best teacher in the world. My name is Andrew Banda, and see you in the next episode.